All right, guys, welcome to the Captain's Log, day 1 and 2. So we're going to be going all the way back to I believe May 23rd and May 24th of 2021. The whole point of this series is to be a little bit more of a casual storytelling environment about fishing. We're going to talk about things like relationships, mindfulness, building, growth, and just like the deeper elements of the hobby of fishing. So if that's something that you're not going to enjoy, it's okay if you click off this video. This is not going to be for every subscriber. This is going to be for that person that really wants to help build this channel. And this is just going to be where I'm going to be a little bit more open and honest on the channel without any kind of structure. I feel like too many channels out there are trying to sell you something. And I could have sold fishing lures on this channel. Nothing wrong with that. I have no problems with it. But this channel is really come full circle for me, and there's a story behind it. And what better way to do that to show my appreciation to the subscriber, the person who really wants to build this channel, other than just having a free conversation, a two-way conversation, hopefully, on the Captain's Log. And so without any further ado, let's get into day 1 of the Captain's Log. Now, I took the wrapper off of my cigar today. If you're curious about it, just comment down below. I'll feel free. I might answer it down there. But it was a gift for my college graduation, and I figured today's kind of a special moment, and this is a special video starting off this series, and I just kind of wanted to enjoy it and really live in the moment today. So the 23rd, May 23rd, starts off where me and my wife decide that we are going to go fishing for a weekend, and we're going to do an overnight trip before it gets too hot out, but it's just warm enough to where the fish should be biting really good. So at the time, though, she's not my wife. At the time that you're going to be watching this, she is. But so we're just going to call her my wife for all intents and purposes because, you know, I didn't know that she was going to marry me back then. It's all good. So May 23rd, we decide that we're going to go out fishing, and we bring some books along with us and some articles to kind of like talk about our relationship. And the 23rd is a busy day. Like, we're running and gunning all over the lake trying to find bass, and unsuccessful. We didn't catch any fish. We just enjoyed each other's time and had a really nice boat ride. Excuse me, guys. But we fish deep, and you'll notice that this summer I've been trying to catch fish deep, and I have not been successful catching fish deep, even though it's been super hot out, and I feel like they should be biting deep, but they're just not. So anyway, besides the point, so we fish all over the place, and we decide to anchor up in Boulder Beach. And so great, just couldn't complain about the day. Wonderful launch conditions. This is before the lake level dropped beneath the point to where we can't launch over at Hemingway, and beneath to where we have the traffic jams over at Hemingway. Sorry, and Boulder, I believe, is closed now, but at the time it wasn't. So we're out there. We're setting up for the overnight, and we go to set up the anchors, and it's all good. I was supposed to be driving and leading the situation, but she didn't know that you have to grab the anchor with the longer line first. And so I was like, okay, babe, I'm going to go ahead and put the boat in reverse, go ahead, drop the anchor. And this is my bad. I should have specified. So she drops the anchor with the shorter line. Not the end of the world. We try to anchor up. We try to figure it out. And eventually the wind kicks up. We get blown off the anchor. And so we got to completely reset. So the evening had taken its delays and its turns. And it was kind of fun, you know, to kind of, I guess, have that little goof of a moment together. But anyway, we get set up. We're all good. And it's late at night, and we're just, you know, we're starting to crack the cold ones. We're drinking some beers, we're eating dinner, some snacks out there, and eventually somewhere in the middle of the night, we actually catch a fish. Great. It completely delays us as far as our sleeping. We wake up, we're like groggy and everything like that, get the fish into the boat. It's a pretty nice catfish, like 3 or 4 pounds, which for Lake Mead, it's not too bad. So we're out there, And we cast our lines out. Now we're super excited. We're checking the bait on everything, making sure everything's all set up, good to go. People are yelling and screaming out on the kayaks because they're all catching striped bass out there with lights underneath the boat. So people are having a blast. I don't blame them. I get it, right? But anyway, we just, kind of lull back off to where we were. And we wake up and no other catfish, no success. We're a little bit surprised about that because over at the tires, you usually catch a bunch of fish. But with everybody hollering, screaming, like maybe some of the catfish were just a little bit wary or, I don't know. But anyway, weren't that many fish. So we wake up, we get breakfast, we're on our way to kind of like go back home, and we take a look at the weather and we're like, well, it's not like we're going to go all the way out to, to the Las Vegas Bay because we see clouds rolling in. And so we're like, well, maybe we're just going to fish Boulder Beach and just troll right on home and have a good day, right? So when we're on our way home, we're like, well, shoot, the whole reason why we were out full was to actually just enjoy some peace and quiet. And we were supposed to read these like relationship articles that were recommended to us and kind of read some scripture and just kind of be a little bit more, I guess what you would say, like just more mindful of how we were like building our companionship and our relationship, right? Which we have a great relationship. At this point, we're married now, so congratulations to us, right? And we're getting started and it's really slow. I mean, we get about halfway there and we're already through the first article and like already chatting and talking and just like really enjoying the moment. And all of a sudden it is completely interrupted by sheer chaos, which is a fish on the line, right? And it's on her rod, which I'm super stoked about because I'm like, hell yeah, like if we're gonna get a fish on the line, like might as well get it on her rod. And so I put the boat into neutral, she's reeling it in, and I could tell it's a pretty good fish. Oh, that's sad, I let my cigar go out, no big deal. Anyway, so I could tell it's a pretty good fish. And I say, well, that's a good one. Let's get into the boat. And so while she's kind of like, I get the fish into the live well, but the line's a little bit tangled and she knows how to untangle the line. So I was like, all right, well, while we're here, I'll kind of cast around and make a couple of casts and bam, I'm on with a fish. I'm like, shoot, all right, bites on, right? So we get that fish into the boat and we're trolling, boom, another fish, but on my rod, right? Get it into the boat, we're trolling, boom, another fish, right back on my rod. And we're like, okay, all right, I guess we found the spot where the fish are. And so, but we keep trolling back to the launch and we're reading and we get through our second article. And, just as about, we're thinking about if we're going to turn around or call it, we catch a fish and we're like, you know what, we're enjoying the fishing. We got more articles to read. Let's just keep on going, and if we're catching fish or we're reading, it doesn't really matter. We're just enjoying the boat ride. So we turn around and we go through that really slow area all over again, and we're not really catching that much. Every once in a while, we catch one, and I'll let her reel one in, but it's all on the same rod. And we didn't really understand what was going on at that time, but I was like, shoot, I mean, if they're all going to be biting on my rod, I'm just going to pass it off once in a while, right? Just so she gets some action. Because when we all go on the boat, everyone wants to catch a fish, right? So anyway, so we're out there. We get back to the main spot. Bam, bam, bam. Fish left and right. We get distracted again. And eventually we get to the point to where, it's a little bit dull again after a few fish in a row. And so we finally finish up that article. And we really enjoyed just some mindfulness on that trip. We were able to kind of just be in the moment and really enjoy fishing and just kind of like building our friendship as a couple. And I feel like that's missing in so many people's day-to-day lives. They go out fishing and they think that fishing is all about success and catching that big one and getting that Instagram picture or getting recognized, instead of just like going out with your buddies and just like sharing a memory, right? Or going out with your wife or your girlfriend or your fiance or like a woman you're courting and just really enjoying something that's wholesome and simple. And you can focus on an activity and still focus not necessarily just on the activity, but on what the value that that activity brings to both people, individually as well as together. And I really saw that on the way back. I said, hey, look, the live well's full. We can fit one more fish in the boat. And so I caught most of the fish. So next one, whoever hooks in the next fish, if it's on my rod, I'll let you hook, reel it in. If it's on your rod, just reel it in. And we'll go back. Well, sure enough, that next fish is the biggest one of the day. And I kind of realized that it was more building, and it was more beneficial for me to watch her reel in the biggest fish of the day than it was if I had won or anything like that. And fishing has become something of mine where I'm really competitive at it, but it doesn't always have to be competitive. And that's what I want to make this channel about, is it doesn't have to always be about success. It can just be about enjoying the mastery of a hobby for the sake of exploring something new without any expectation, without knowing what the spots are or anything like that. And I told you what spot we caught the fish at in this video. I have no problem with that. But I feel like I take so much away when I just give away too many answers. So this video is always going to be about, or this channel is always going to be about, the higher level priorities of fishing, and hoping that you can just enjoy figuring out the puzzle wherever you happen to be at. And if you're in Lake Mead and you're fishing and you want to fish here in the Southwest, then this is going to be great. So thank you for watching my little rant here. I definitely want to keep these captain's logs going, and I want this to be something casual and fun where we just enjoy each other's time, talk about some cool stories, and keep the fishing tradition alive in a way that's going to build a community. And if you've watched this video all the way to the end here, you're a part of that community. Welcome and thank you. I'm going to relight my cigar and I'm going to enjoy the rest of my evening. So take care and have a great day.